Okay, guys, we're going to start with our Unit 10 Geometry, Lesson 1. I'm going to go ahead and make sure I'm in good shape here with my other page here, and let's get rolling on this thing. So welcome to Geometry. Area is the surface measurement of a two-dimensional figure. We're going to use the formula area equals base times height. Some use length times width, where B is the length of the base, and H is the height of the rectangle, right? So we're dealing with rectangles and parallelograms. Area is measured in square units. So example, inches times an inches would be inches square. Feet times feet would be feet square. And meters times meters would be meters square. Okay, pretty common stuff there. All right, so they give us three rectangles down here, and we're kind of just looking at these things, and we're going to, let me pull that up just a little bit for you. We're going to get into this, but we're going to use these same formula. Area is base times height. Area is base times height. Then area equals base times height. And then we're going to plug in our values here, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's going to be 5 times 7, and our area is going to be 35 in units square. We don't know what that is, so we just call that units. And I always like to circle that. Plug in our values, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 9 times 6 is 54 units square. The last one looks to be a perfect square here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 4 times 4, which is 16 units square. Okay. All right, let's continue on. Now we're going to get in some decimals here. Same formula we're going to use. Area is base times height. Plug in the values, 3 times 8 and 6/10. And we end up with 25, I had to grab my calculator, and 8/10 centimeters square. See, centimeters, circle it. We can go with fractions, it's the same thing. Area is base times height, right? 1.5 times 2 1/4. And that equals 3 3/8 feet square. Okay. All right, let's continue on. Formulas can be manipulated to solve for a missing information. So we can work backwards, right? We can work backwards. So we can find the base by taking the area and dividing it by the height, or we can find the height by taking the area and dividing it by the base. Just common sense there. Okay. And we'll do that next. So let's go ahead and flip it over. Let me make sure you can see that. Yeah, we're in good shape here. Okay. So in this case, and I do it a little bit differently than what they do, but so let's go ahead here. Area is base times height. I like to plug in my numbers. They're giving me the area. 162 equals, I'm looking for the base, but I have the height of 18b. See, I can now all I'm going to do is just divide both sides by 18, and the base ends up being 9 meters. That is not area. We already have it in square units. That is linear feet. So remember that, right? All right. Number 7, circle all the formulas below that could be used to find the height of a rectangle with a base of 11 and an area of 120. Okay, well, 11, this isn't going to do it, right? So that's out, right? So, and really this 120 is in the wrong place. It needs to be over here, and the 11 needs to be over here. So that's out. This will work, yeah, because to solve this, we're going to divide both sides by 11, all right? And And this will also work. The height will equal 120 divided, so that will work. This will not. So we have C and D. Let's move on to a parallelogram here. Let me make sure you can see that part. Yep, you're in good shape. Here we go. All right, use the formula, same one. Area is base times height, where B is the length of the base and H is the height of the parallelogram, which makes a 90-degree angle. Remember, they have to be perpendicular to each other, right? So these were perpendicular, right? You're going to notice down here in the bottom a little bit that they have this perpendicular height. Always has to be perpendicular. Very important. Very important. Okay, so let's go ahead. We have, the same formula. Area is base times height. Area is base times height. And area is base times height. Going to plug in our values, right? Okay. So it's a little bit, this is kind of a little bit confusing here, but they gave you a slanted height, so they would take that and put it over here. All right. But, if we're looking for the base here, all right, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times the height. And again, it's 1, 2, 3. It's height. It's this way. It's perpendicular. And that's 4, and that's 24. And we'll call that units square. The next one, is going to be 4 times 9 because here's our base, from here to here, and our height is there. So it's 36 centimeters square. And this is going to be 2 times 1 1/3. And 2 times 1 1/3 is 2 2/3. And that's going to be feet square. Right? Okay, make sure you see that bottom piece. And then finally, describe how the area of a rectangle and the area of a parallelogram with the same dimensions are related. All right. Well, they'll have the same area because you're using the same formula. So they will have the same area. All right, that was a good start, guys. Thanks so much. Check you later.